The clashes in Sudan are between the Sudanese armed forces, led by Gen. Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, paramilitary group, led by Gen. Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo. In 2021, al-Burhan, who had become chief of the Power-Sharing Council, dissolved it, declaring he would instead hold elections in 2023. The current fighting broke out between the army and the RSF as a result of negotiations breaking down over integrating the two forces ahead of the intended restoration of civilian rule. There was disagreement over which general would be subordinate to the other, and how quickly the RSF would be incorporated into the Sudanese military. Heavy fighting broke out across the country on April 8, with Sudan's capital city of Khartoum and neighboring Omdurman being turned into battlefields. Until recently, the leaders of the two forces were allies. They worked together in 2019 to overthrow Sudan's brutal dictator Omar al-Bashir, who ruled over the country for 3 decades, sweeping to power as thousands of people took to the streets in a popular uprising against al-Bashir. The Sudanese armed forces said in a statement earlier on Wednesday that it repelled and defeated RSF's attempt to seize the army's headquarters, saying they have seized quantities of ammunition, a number of medium and light machine guns, personal weapons, and 24 land cruisers that they, RSF, left behind. It admitted that since the outbreak of fighting on Saturday, RSF has managed to seize a number of government headquarters including the Ministry of the Council of Ministers, the Ministry of the Interior and the Civil Registry Department and are using these civilian institutions to manage their combat activities. The army said that RSF seized a number of weapons stores from police stations. The failed ceasefire had been hoped to provide respite for civilians caught in the middle of the conflict. Each faction previously accused the other of breaking another failed truce on Tuesday, with clashes re-erupting in the capital. Sudan's armed forces accused RSF of assaulting civilians, looting and burning the market on Bari in Khartoum, said Sudanese Armed Forces spokesperson Brigadier General Nabil Abdullah Ali Musa. The real problem is that there does not seem that there is control over the RSF from its leadership. They are acting similar to gangs, and they are threatening people's lives, Musa said. The RSF accused the armed forces of breaching the truce in the first hours after it came into effect, and said the army continues to engage in heavy weapons attacks and indiscriminate bombing. Civilians remain been caught in the chaos, and internet outages have been reported in the country by internet watchdog NetBlocks. The International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, called for immediate humanitarian access in a statement Wednesday. Patrick Youssef, Africa Regional Director for the ICRC, called for unimpeded access. Half of the hospitals in Sudan's capital are out of action due to intensifying clashes, according to a leading aid organization, even as the number of casualties rise and many of the injured are in dire need of medical attention. According to the information we have in Khartoum, 50% of hospitals have been out of action in the first 72 hours, said Abdallah Hussein, the Médecins Sans Frontières (MSF) operational manager for Sudan. This is because the staff weren't feeling safe to go there or the hospitals themselves have been subject to shelling or bombing, he said. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, at least 296 people have been killed and more than 3,000 have been injured since fighting erupted on that Saturday. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs wrote to Sudan and this is what they said.
Dear Dutch nationals in Sudan, as the fighting in Sudan continues, we are looking at all the ways that we might be able to help you. We are leaving no stone unturned. Making plans is very difficult due to the constantly changing situation. Unfortunately, this means we cannot make any promises, but please be assured we are working as hard as we can. Together with defense staff, we have prepared for a wide range of scenarios. In each case, we have identified the security risks and ways of minimizing these. Other countries are doing the same, and we are all sharing information with each other. We cannot predict how things will go. It may take a long time, or things might suddenly start happening very quickly. It's clear that there are risks involved with every option. When an opportunity to evacuate arises, the decision whether or not to go will be yours and yours alone. We must point out in this regard that petrol and other fuels have become almost impossible to buy in Khartoum. Important, keep us informed of your whereabouts. We will keep you updated as much as possible, preferably by telephone so that we can speak to you personally. If speed is of the essence, we may send you an email, so keep monitoring both. Our phone team is not always able to reach everyone immediately, but they will keep trying. If we give you information about a possible evacuation, please keep it confidential. Do not share this information with anyone. If the plans become public, the operation could become even more dangerous or even need to be cancelled. Of course, we will inform the public fully when it is safe to do so. This also depends on whether an operation needs to be repeated in order to help more people. If you hear rumors about possible evacuations, you can always contact us. We may not always know about the plans other countries have made, so we will not always be able to confirm or deny those rumors. In the meantime, we will keep trying to support you remotely. We also want to express our appreciation for the way you are supporting each other and keeping your spirits up. That, too, is vitally important in this situation.